Hello and welcome back to Trend Watch 777. So in this video, Donald Trump, he sends a direct message to Renee Good's father. So that is what we're going to be covering in this video. And I'm going to switch over here to this screen and I'm going to read it. And after I get finished reading, we're going to watch two videos. And this is going to be one of them, but we're not watching this at the moment. So Donald Trump sends direct message to Renee Good's father. President Donald Trump, in a CBS News interview Tuesday, addressed the father of Renee Good, fatally shot in her car by an Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agent in Minnesota last week, saying she was likely a very solid, wonderful person, but that her actions were pretty tough. Why it matters. The shooting has ignited national debate over ICE's use of force and accountability. Trump's remarks mixing praise for Good with criticism of her actions. Well, that's typical of him. Highlight the political divide as his administrations doubled down on hardline immigration policies while state leaders and civil rights advocates demand answers. I really don't think we're going to get any answers from this administration. Okay, so what to know? Renee Good, 37, was fatally shot by ICE agent Jonathan Ross during an encounter in Minnesota on the morning of January the 7th. Video footage shows Ross pulling a firearm and shooting at Good's car at close range as the vehicle moves, though it remains unclear whether her vehicle struck the officer. The Department of Homeland Security and Vice President J.D. Vance have defended Ross's actions, while Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and leading Democrats say the footage suggests Good was trying to leave, not attack. One witness told in Newsweek that they just shot her in the head. She crashed. Let me see. Continue reading. When asked by CBS News anchor Tony DeCopo, shout out, congratulations to his new assignment, what he wanted to say to Good's heartbroken father, who the host described as a big supporter of Trump. After the administration so quickly has come out and said she's a domestic terrorist, the president replied, I want to say to the father that I love all of our people. I wish I can just mimic his voice. But he actually said that. The president replied, I want to say to the father that I love all our people. I would bet that she, under normal circumstances, was a very solid, wonderful person, but her actions were pretty tough, he added. Trump then defended ICE, citing hundreds of thousands of murderers in the country and blaming his predecessor's open border policy for making enforcement harder. The president added that video of the shooting could be viewed in two ways and referenced a couple of versions of that tape that are very, very bad. Okay, previously commenting on an incident, Trump said in a post on Truth Social that the video was a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense, he said. Now, what people are saying, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, in an official statement on January 7th, an officer acted quickly and defensively, shot to protect himself and the people around him. My understanding is she was hit and is deceased. These vehicle ramming are domestic acts or terrorism. Now, the DHS Secretary, Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin told police, if you weaponize a vehicle, a deadly weapon to kill or cause bodily harm to a federal agent, a federal law enforcement officer, that is an act of domestic terrorism and will be prosecuted as such. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance, in an ex post the day after the shooting, said, this guy was doing his job. She tried to stop him from doing his job. When he approached her car, she tried to hit him. Okay, now Minneapolis Democratic Mayor Jacob Frey at a news conference on January 7th said, so they are already trying to spin this is an action of self-defense. Having seen a video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly that is BS. Okay, now Neam Raman, right here. I hope this ain't too small. Okay, so Neam Ramani, a former federal prosecutor and the president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, previously told Newsweek, based on these videos alone, I do not think the ICE agent was justified in firing his weapon. The woman reversed, then turned all the way to the right. She turned the rail to the right, which she did. Those are two very important facts that make it appear that she was attempting to flee and not run over the agent. Okay, now Kansas Republican Senator Jerry Moran told the Kansas City Star, I think it is prudent to take a step back and let the investigation occur. Much of today's world revolves around information on the internet. Well, you don't say. Let's do everything we can to find out what transpired. It's evident what transpired. It's in 4K. You got caught in 4K. What is he talking about? Okay, now he said, let's do everything we can to find out what transpired, who's at fault, and what do we do to make sure such a tragedy doesn't happen again. Well, number one, you can take ICE off the streets, get them out of Minnesota and out of other cities as well. So what happens next? A poll from YouGov and The Economist released on Tuesday revealed that support for abolishing ICE is growing. 46% of respondents said they were in favor of abolishing ICE, while 43% were opposed to the idea. Wow, that's amazing. Only 43% was opposed? Wait, opposed to the idea. Hold on, let me do this again. 46% of respondents said they were in favor of abolishing ICE, while 43% were opposed to the idea. So that's 46% in favor of abolishing and 43% opposed to the idea. Wow. The Trump administration's increasingly aggressive immigration policy and ICE polarizing tactics could affect the outcome of the midterm election later this year. All right. So this was updated 1/14/2026. All right. The article was updated with additional information. In a polarizing era, the center is dismissed as bland. At Newsweek, ours is different. The courageous center is not both sides. It's sharp, challenging, and alive with ideas. We follow facts, not factions. If that sounds like the kind of journalism you want to see thrive, we need you. Okay, so they go on. They want you to become a Newsweek member. Okay, so I read all that now. Let me see. Wasn't there a video here? What happened to the video? I thought it was a video here. Okay, yeah, here's the video. I'm going to come back. in a moment. But first, we're going to watch this video from Fox and Friends. Fox News.
So at least 60 people are facing charges for interfering with federal law enforcement in the Twin Cities. And anti-ICE protests are showing no signs of letting up.
And now President Trump is sending a direct message to the father of the woman killed in last week's agent-involved shooting.
Matt Finn joins us now from Minneapolis with the latest. Hey, Matt.
Good morning, everyone. It's been 1 week since Renee Good was shot and killed here in Minneapolis. And since then, the federal government has surged hundreds more agents into the city. Hold up. Agents used flashbangs last night to deter protesters outside of the federal facility that ICE is using as a detention center. Protesters taunt officers day and night at this location, even launching fireworks at them. And when it turns violent, federal officers use crowd control tactics and take people into custody. Now, clashes between anti-ICE activists and immigration agents, they're not cooling down in the Twin Cities. Yesterday, protesters surrounded federal officers as they were apparently taking people into custody. Minneapolis police tell Fox yesterday they have arrested 31 protesters within the city since demonstrations began. Now, we caught up with Border Patrol on a targeted enforcement. Now, all around the Twin Cities, you hear these ear-piercing whistles. Activists blow the whistles when they see agents to alert the anti-ICE network.
There's all these ear-piercing whistles going on around us right now. What are these people blowing those whistles for?
You know, it's interesting you ask that, Matt. Oftentimes these individuals have no reason or they have no clue why we are in an area. We could arrest, again, a child molester or a child rapist or a murderer, illegal alien, and they don't seem to care. They don't agree with that for some odd reason.
Now, protesters are demonstrating against ICE, also against the shooting death of Renee Good. And in an interview, President Trump gave a message to Renee Good's father.
I want to say to the father that I love all of our people. They can be on the other side. As you say, he might be on my side. He is on your side. And I think that's great. And I do. I think it's great. And I would bet you that she, under normal circumstances, was a very solid, wonderful person. But then her actions were pretty tough. When I've seen it many ways and many different shapes and forms.
Now, yesterday here in Minneapolis, there were a number of sudden resignations inside the U.S. Attorney's Office here, including Joe Thompson. He is the second man in charge here. Governor Tim Walz posting about Joe, quote, "Joe is a principled public servant who spent more than a decade achieving justice for Minnesotans. This is a huge loss for our state. It's also the latest sign Trump is pushing nonpartisan career professionals out of the Justice Department, replacing them with his sycophants." Now, two federal sources tell us that in light of these resignations, the Trump administration is sending additional federal attorneys here into Minneapolis, and that those newer attorneys are going to be aligned with the Trump administration's agenda on immigration prosecutions here in the Twin Cities. Back to you guys in New York.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
Wow.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
I am absolutely. I'm not surprised by that move. I am not surprised. Wow. So let's go back and see what this video about. It said Johnson says Renee Good was taunting ICE officers before shooting.
Terrorist, even as the government is actively investigating.
Let me start it over.
DHS and White House officials have repeatedly referred to Renee Good as a domestic terrorist, even as the government is actively investigating her killing. Are you concerned that the administration is using too broad a definition of domestic terrorism here? Doesn't it open the door for this admin or a future one to cast an equally broad net to criminalize or surveil American citizens?
I'm going to be intellectually consistent and say, this is my way. I try to reserve judgment on these things until the investigation is borne out. The angle that I saw was this woman was taunting ICE officers. She was impeding law enforcement. She was violating a number of laws in doing so. They were very patient and asked her multiple times to remove her vehicle and stop impeding their operation, and she refused. Her partner, whoever that was taunting the officer. It was a crazy set of circumstances. And from the angle I saw, this is my view. I'm not the investigator and I'm not the judge and jury, but I'll tell you what I saw is that the vehicle, she revved, she hit the accelerator and hit the ICE officer, and he reacted in a split second. And it will be up to the investigators and everyone else to determine the outcome of that.
I sure don't know what video he was watching. I do not know what video he was watching. So I want to look up something else, because everything, this administration is nothing but chaos. Chaos, 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 chaos. So I want to, that is not what I'm looking for. All right, I want to look at the meaning, because Minneapolis, they are definitely in an uproar. And I want to see, all right, chaos here, complete disorder and confusion. And that is exactly where we are at. And the Merriam-Webster, a state of utter confusion, the blackout, okay, a confused mass or mixture, all right, a state of things in which chance is supreme. So, and then I want to also see what does the Bible say about chaos. I should look out chaos and confusion. I know God is not the author of confusion, so we know the devil is the author of confusion. He liked nothing but confusion. And then here it says the Bible addresses chaos as a state of disorder and confusion, exactly, emphasizing that God is a God of order and peace, capable of bringing calm amidst turmoil. All right, and then now the biblical perspective on chaos, that's God's nature. All right, the Bible teaches that God is not a God of chaos, but of order. Creation and order responds to chaos. The Bible acknowledges here that chaos can arise from sin and disobedience, as seen in Genesis 3, where the fall of man introduced disorder into the world. However, God provides guidance and strength during chaotic times, and we definitely need to turn our plates down and get on our knees and pray for the state of this this whole nation. Because as I said in one of my other videos, that for one, Trump does not bring peace. So we know that. And like I said in one of my other videos, that lawlessness is what's going on now. And so, like, this is like really just the beginning of all this lawlessness. And I think it's going to get pretty worse before it gets any better. And we just have to keep praying for the Renee family. And I wonder how her father is feeling now that Trump has responded. He didn't respond with any sort of compassion whatsoever. So I wonder if her father is still feeling, is still a Trump supporter. You know, you got some diehard Trump supporters. I mean, wow. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And I'll see you in my next video. Y'all be blessed. I'm out.